What up? It's your boy Paulo. We're doing a little brake job here. I gotta replace the caliper bracket, and I'm gonna do a rotor and new brake pads. Already did the other side. Go ahead and knock it out. I already broke these bolts loose on the caliper. Let's see. Grab a screwdriver. I got a whole new bracket to put on. It's going to be pretty easy. Hopefully I don't have any trouble getting the bracket bolts off. Sometimes they're a pain. Yeah, I do a little bit of home maintenance on my own vehicles. I'm no mechanic by any means, but I can definitely work on a vehicle. I drive Fords, so that's usually what I work on. You could say I'm a Ford guy. I like other cars too, but that's what I know how to work on the best is a Ford. So that's usually what I try to stick with. Don't buy something you can't fix. It's never the best idea. The pads aren't all the way gone here, but I'll show you something. This is why I'm changing the brackets. Let's see, I don't know if you can tell with the one side's a lot thinner than the other, so we were getting an uneven wear. And I'll show you once I get the bracket off. The bolts are locked up on both sides, so it wasn't letting it come all the way out to where it needed to be. So it was just pressing the one side in harder and harder, and the other side wasn't coming in. Let's see, I think it's a 15. Get out over here. A couple things I gotta do. Break these bolts loose if I can. Hopefully it'll go right in there. Yep. You gotta watch out these little retaining pins on the rotors sometimes. The bolts will just strip right out. This little hex head bolt will strip right out on you. If that had happened. So if you do put them back in, make sure you don't tighten them down. They're just to hold the rotor on. Oh yeah, about took my knuckle out. And threads will just spin right out on you. Then you got to drill them out, and that's a major pain in your butt. Trust me, you don't want to have to do that. I've done it once before, and it took forever. I got a pretty good drill, but I could have used something that plugged into the wall, maybe. Sure, we got some motorbikes out today, you know. Oh, no, that's a big Camaro cruising by. That's the Camaro. Alright, now I need a size 15, I think it is, for this. Let's see what we got here. Not sure if it's a 15 or not. Some of these guys are hard to get out. I think it may be a 17 then. Couldn't remember. I did this the other side already. Let's see. Yep, 17 millimeter. Nope, wrong bolt. I think it is the 15. Let me try that. I was getting on the wrong bolt. Haha. Yep, 15 it is. Let's see if I can bust her loose, boys. You don't want to come. I have to get the other wrench out. Go to the top bolt. Don't want to come. I pull down. Might have to get the bigger wrench on it. go ahead and try that. All right, so we got her busted off there. I had to use a little bit of leverage, extend the wrench a little, just come right off. I don't know if you can see it from the angle that we're at. It basically was whoop, come right off. So just gonna take these last two bolts out of the bracket, then I can take the bracket off, and then the rotor will come out. And then I can show you the going back into the rotor. I'll give you a close-up on the bad bracket in a minute. I was getting worried about getting those bolts broke loose, man. I don't got any bigger wrenches. I remembered a little bit of science class. You got to use leverage, man. All right, here's the old bracket, and this is the issue here. So these are supposed to slide back and forth freely. They're locked up. You can see one seems to be in further than the other as well. I don't know if it's hard to tell, but yeah, this one's definitely in further than this, and they're froze up, so the brakes were not wearing evenly. So I just got a whole new bracket to put on. Pull the rotor off first. There she is, there's the rotor, the old rotor. Just go ahead and replace her. She's not horrible, but I don't like the fact that it wore even. So if you look, the uneven, this side is more wore than that side. Just put new ones on it. Be easy peasy. Here's the new unit. It's got the caliper too. I'm going to return it for the core charge in a minute after I get all this done. I'm going to switch back over to a 14 millimeter. I also used a different socket to do that because I didn't want to tear up my good shit. There's my 14. This might be a bitch to get it to come loose. Really? There we go. We got that side. I'm just using the bracket off of this. I had to buy the whole unit, but you can return it and get a core charge, so get a little bit of money back, but still a pain in the butt. Oh, I'm tightening, hold on. This thing's hard to get it to come loose off of. Oh, there we go. You can't put it on there without taking the other caliper off, and you're supposed to put it on there before you take the bolts off, but I got them. There's that. Then we need those bolts. This sucker. We need to put the new, here's the new unit. Like I said, look, these guys come in and out. Easy peasy. Not a big deal. All right. I forgot about one other thing, but I'm going to put the other stuff on there. I still have to wind the caliper back in, but I want to put the rotor and stuff on there, so I got somewhere to put the caliper when I wind it back. And we'll give it a try. Why not? It might just wind back in. So before I do that, I've got to I'm going to open the master cylinder up. So if there is any pressure, I will relieve the pressure. Here's my brake caliper reset tool. This will wind your caliper back out. Go ahead and pop the hood and open this up. All right, so the master cylinder is open up now. I'm going to try to wind her back. Oh yeah, I should be able to set it right there. That works even better. This is a neat little tool. It works pretty cool. Give you guys a look at it. Just wind this out so it grabs a hold of it. And there she is. Try to get you back over here so you can somewhat see what's going on. More me talking and telling you about what I'm doing. I think you can see me a little. Yeah, she's wanting to wind in real nice. Last one did too. Right then. That's what I like to see. Have to go and check the level after I wind this bad boy out. It was pushed out pretty far. Oh, she's working just fine. She's pushed all the way back in. You gotta unwind this tool to get it back in the box. I rented this bad boy. A $60 rental. I gotta take her back tomorrow and get me some money. It's beer money there, man. You get a lot of beer with $60. I can get 90 beers with $60 to see what I can get. You know what? After I get done with this, I'll be dying for one. I got some other shit to do though. After this, I may mow the yard. If I mow the yard though, I'm having a beer with that. You know it. You know it, baby. Messing with this caliper bracket. Alright, so I'm gonna grab we're actually gonna stop the video for. Alright, so we're back again. Had to grab my brake fluid, or my brake cleaner, I mean. I'm going to throw the new rotor on here, put the bracket back. What happened? Nothing special, just a regular rotor. Go for nothing crazy. I'll line up my pinholes. Should be good. Yep, that's right on. Where's my little retaining pins at? Where'd I put them? There they are. Like I said, when you reinstall the little retaining pins, you gotta get you guys a little better position there. When you reinstall the retainer pins, you don't want to put them all the way in. You just want to snug them. So if you get them too tight, they're just meant to hold the rotor on while you install everything. They're not meant to actually be screwed in very tight. So if you screw them in too tight, the next time when you go to do anything with this rotor, they're probably not going to want to come out. You could use anti-seize or something like that if you want. I mean, I would recommend to use some, honestly. I don't have any, and I wouldn't go buy none either, so. This will just get her on there snug. Drop another bolt. Just throw it right in. Yep. Ensure that when you put the caliper on that your rotor's straight. So do not tighten them. Just enough. The the wheel is going to hold those on. They're not going to come loose because the wheel, the inside of the rim is going to be up against there. So you ain't got to worry about it. Even if they were to come loose, it's not, that wouldn't be an issue. All right, now we got to put this bad guy on. There's a certain way you do it here, I think. Yep, just like so. Last time on the other side, I had a little bit of trouble lining these bolts up. Oh, before I do that, I want to spray down my rotor so I can get behind it. A little brake cleaner. You want to use brake cleaner on a new rotor because they come with oil on them, so you can get that oil off. And I don't think it's an absolute killer, but you save the money to get new parts while you're gonna chance fucking something up. Spray all this down a little bit. That shit dries almost instantly, but if it pulls up, it don't dry very good. You wanna let it run out? Oh yeah, it looks good. I thought I was gonna have to do calipers on this bad boy, and then when I took it apart, I realized it was just the bracket bolts were seized. And that was, a lot less work. And calipers seem to be running fine. I will have to check the brake fluid levels still too. Try to weld that back in. I'm gonna make sure. Do that later. Probably real high at this point. There we go. We got one in. One bolt started. We got another one. I'll have this bad boy back together in a few. Oh yeah, there we go. That was a lot easier than the last time I had trouble. I think I got the one bolt in too far, and then it didn't want to line up real good. These bad boys, I do want to get them tight, so I am going to use my leverage. We need 15 millimeter lever. This is actually a tire tool that you can use to take your lug nuts off with. It comes with the car. But I found that it fits perfectly on my wrench to do things like this. Alright, that's skin snug. Let's give her a rip. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, there you go, right on there. Yep. Don't get that bracket tight on there, man. It should probably be torqued, but I ain't that kind of mechanic. Oh yeah, that's tight as it's gonna get. Alright. Now we gotta get our brake pads set up into this guy. I gotta set up all my, this is kind of a fiddly little part. So your brake gear. This also is going to help hold your calipers in there. Outside. That's right. Bottom. Others for the bottom. I'll give you guys a look at this before I install the pads into it. Top one. These little guys just clip right in there. These little guys clip right in. And these big guys slide in. Goes in like so. So, yeah, that's it. There we go. guys a look at her. Whole new unit. Alright, so we've got the caliper and the brakes installed. This little boot's a little jacked up. I'm gonna have to fix it up, but I just gotta put these 2 bolts back on, put the wheel on, go for a test drive, but mission is almost accomplished. I'll try to see if you guys can sit with me for the rest of it. Last part of the video cut out, so we'll see what happens if you guys stay here with me or not. Either way, we're almost done. I think we got some footage for you guys. That's what I've been wanting to do, is get you guys in here so you can see a little bit of what's happening with the Apollo Beats over here. Let's try to get a screwdriver or something so you want this thing to be. That's what happened before. This thing wasn't in the right position and it caused the bolts to rust. You want it to be down on there all the way. Up all the way down. Where's my screwdriver? There she is. Be gentle on this. You don't want to break the boot either. Make sure she's pushed all the way up where she's supposed to be at. Yeah, I think that's good. We're all right now. Got the boot straightened out. Need to switch back to a 14 millimeter and tighten the bolts, man. Put the wheel on and we're in there like swimwear. There's my 14 at. Right there's the 14. It's about done. What that was? Sounded like somebody was coming outside.
Huh?
I'm doing a video. Yeah. Changing the brakes. I'm almost done. He's ready to go. Bubbers, you mama, why are you barking? Apollo's over there barking up a storm. Alright, so I gotta check the brake fluid level and turn the tire back so I can put the tire on. Then I'm done. Alright, so the brake fluid level was high. Let's try and soak a little bit up out of there. Yeah, it's not bad. Let it soak a little bit more out and I'm gonna go for it. When the brakes, you don't want it to be low right now, because as the brakes wear, the calipers will go in, your level will drop too low. So you want it to be at the highest point right now. But I got all the brakes done. All I got to do is turn the wheel and then put the actual tire back on. I've been using you guys to set on the tire, or at the tire as a stand, so I can't record that part. But I think everybody knows there's only 5 bolts on there. You put the tire on it, lower it back down to the ground. But, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Try to be back with different weird content like this in the future. Later, guys.